That's her first of the season. And she'll kick us off. She'll pass backwards to Abigail Meneses. Going outside to Katie Rischel. Helena Van Bibber up top for the Spartans as well. Cece DePino's there. This is Couturez with the ball. Cameron Hartman coming down into the box on the near side, and the cross comes in her direction, and it's headed out of there. This ball will roll out of play and go into the hands of the Barron Lions. Bella Sistido for the Lions is back there. In goal today, Riley Morningstar gets her first start of her career. It had been Morgan Harding, the senior goalkeeper, starting up to this point. The first year gets the nod today, as Liz White will have to try and pass this to her teammates in the back line. Lexi Gomez was fighting to keep that ball away from Arena Dillinger. She's a junior from Pittsburgh. And also from the Pittsburgh area, Maggie Storty in goal for the Spartans. She's from Cranberry Township. Went to high school in the downtown area, Oakland Catholic. Here is Gomez now. Again, Dillinger putting pressure on her. And that ball just went out of play before Mary Meyer could get to it. Emily Klopp was bearing down on her. Here's Angela Belak with the throw-in. Christy Buckenheimer is with her. Wearing that captain's armband in the middle of the field is Carla Ochoa. And Christine Patterson also in that defensive midfield area for the Lions. Audra Kuzma rounding out that back line. Again, we mentioned the records of these two teams, but the numbers rather similar. The Lions have scored 13 goals and given up 8. The Spartans have scored the same, 13. And actually have given up just 3 so far this season. Excuse me, the Lions have given up 17 goals on the year. Again, a bit slower of a start to their season than they had a year ago. 29 saves for Morgan Harding in goal. They'll be without her to start this one. Storty on the other side, 14 saves for the Spartans, as they have a free kick to get this one started. We saw a good number of those on Saturday when the Spartans defeated Ohio Northern by a score of 2-1, and that was a wild game, especially in the last few minutes. Spartans had 16 free kicks in that game, 8 in each half. Here is DePino. She'll go back to Mary Meyer. And a fight for the ball, and we'll see who it goes to. It'll go to the Lions. It was Carla Ochoa putting the pressure on defensively there. Belak will have the throw-in. So an aggressive start for Penn State-Behrend, similar to the style of play we saw from Ohio Northern. That Polar Bear team took the lead over the Spartans before 2 goals came back for an answer. It was also the first game of the season that Cameron Hartman did not score, but she did have an assist, so she has at least a point in every game so far this season. 4 goals and 1 assist for 9 points. Those goals and points lead this team. Mentioned Cece DePino, who's on the field, 2 assists for her. Tie her for the team lead, along with Samantha Cramen, as Cameron Hartman will go down to Carolyn Couturez here just outside the box. She'll try to work it inside and send a cross in. It's low and finds someone. A teammate. It was DePino who got the shot off, and it was too wide that time. So the first shot for the Spartans off target, And it took them a little while to get going in that last game. They scored in the 26th minute. Mackenzie Mueller did on Saturday against Ohio Northern, and then they took the lead in the 75th minute when Samantha Cramen came in and scored. Both players came off the bench in that one, Mueller and Cramen, to score, and they're both on the bench to start this one, and we've seen them come in multiple times throughout this season. Samantha Cramen has played in 4 games. Mueller has played in all 5. So this pass a little bit too wide. Rischel knocks it out of play. Sestito on the far side will throw it in. She'll find Ochoa. Quick defense coming up to her. That's DePino fighting for it. Now going back to Trinity Prestash. Also in that midfield forward area for the Lions. She'll work up front now as they have another throw in. It's been tough to get past this Spartan defense this season. 2 goals came in the first game in the opener as part of a 4-2 victory over Capital, and the only other goal came on Saturday against Ohio Northern. And we mentioned last season we're undefeated at home in the regular season. Here's Cameron Hartman, 2 defenders marking her, and she'll try to find some space here, try to dribble past a few, and that'll go out of play. Is that a goal kick or a corner? And they're pointing inside that box, and it looks like it will be a goal kick. So Morningstar will knock this out, and it'll find the head of Hartman. It'll be out of play on her. Head coach Abby Richter for the Spartans, cheering her team on in her first season. And once again, a perfect 5-0 to begin her career. She spent 14 years at Kent State prior to the start of her tenure here in Cleveland. On the other side, it's Coach Patrick O'Driscoll in his 17th season as the head coach of the Lions. He's taken his team to 13 AMCC championship games and has won over double the amount of games he's dropped. 216, 101, and 20 draws is his record as Helena Van Bibber tries to get this one past a few defenders and make her way to goal, and it's knocked away from her. Audra Kuzma was back there, and she'll have to send the ball back to her goalkeeper once again. Meyer heads this up forward. Buckenheimer tries to collect it, and there's some pushing and shoving right at that midfield line, and another foul, and this will be against Barron once again. Abigail Meneses was taken to the ground there. So that's where the Spartans will have a free kick. Liz White will take it. She'll take it quickly, and we saw a lot of this the last couple games. Meneses will try and push this one forward. It looked like it got tipped there. Cameron Hartman gets on top of it. Anyway, it gets past a few defenders, and there's a shot, and it's just wide. She was off balance when she took that shot, and it looked like it didn't come off her foot quite as cleanly as she would have liked. So just under 10 minutes into this one, and no score still. Once again, the undefeated Spartans, number 15 in the nation, taking on Penn State-Behrend at 1-4-1. And 2 tournament teams from a year ago. We mentioned Barron's run ended in the first round. The Spartans ended in the round of 16. They're trying to get back to where they were a year ago, hosting in the postseason. We mentioned that they currently sit on top of the UAA standings, are the second highest ranked team in the conference. That conference boasts 4 ranked teams right now. The Spartans, Carnegie Mellon comes in at number 8, Chicago at number 19, and Rochester at 24. Rochester also undefeated. They're a 3-0-3 team to begin this season. Carnegie Mellon has lost 1. Chicago's lost 2. NYU is still undefeated at 2-0-3 as well. Hartman tries to work this around Belak. There's a very high shot. And it'll be another goal kick. Offensively for the Lions, mentioned those 13 goals on the year. It's Mia Zek who scored the majority of them. She scored 4, but has only played in 3 games so far this year and is not in the starting lineup today, so not sure if we'll see her later in this one, as DePino just lost the ball. The Spartans were trying to make another push forward. And this one's going to roll out of play once again. Another throw coming in right in front of that Lions bench. This one will have some air under it. Claw pushing it forward, and 2 defenders now converging on Prestash. Dillinger retreats with it. Now going outside to Sestito. Now Patterson pushes it forward, and that'll be too strong and out of play. So far, 3 shots for the Spartans, none for the Lions, and no shots on target in this game. Coutures tips that one over to Van Bibber. She's going to try and shoot this one forward for DePino. It's a little bit over her head, and it's Belak who gets under it. Now bounces around and finds Van Bibber. She gets tripped up on that play. Couture is now passing this forward to DePino. Can she keep it in play? She can, and it nearly hits Cameron Hartman. Couture is on the rebound. More defense there. The whistle's blown. And it looks like we might have a penalty here. Might have been a handball call. Yep, and that is what it is. Couldn't quite tell from up here whose hand it hit. It may have been Christine Patterson who was coming back, and Cameron Hartman has already scored off a penalty this season. A couple games ago at Kenyon she did it. And she'll be the one to take this one again. That time it was in the 23rd minute. We're a little bit earlier here. But the penalty for Cameron Hartman is going to go in. Bottom corner. Found the spot and a perfect shot there. So the Spartans take a quick lead off of a penalty. Riley Morningstar, the first-year goalkeeper we mentioned, in her first career start, put in a tough situation, and the Spartans capitalize on it. So the Lions get us back on very quickly. Already finding themselves down 1-0. Again mentioned, have struggled in recent games. Here's DePino. She'll go outside to Van Bibber. Van Bibber trying to get past on this one-on-one matchup. It's Sestito on top of her. She's trying to work inside now. She hits the deck, and they say play on. No foul there. Spartan crowd maybe didn't agree with that, but it was good defense that time. Dillinger fights for the ball and loses it. Lexi Gomez coming up to take it away. And she's been sound defensively throughout the year. The Spartans' entire back line really has. And they went 3 consecutive games and over 300 minutes without allowing a goal. Here's Van Bibber once again. She works her way inside this time, looking for some help. She tried to pass it forward for Coutures, and it's taken away and now stolen right back for the Spartans. Here's Hartman. She's going to work outside. She'll go far post and just too wide on that one. So the Spartans continue to press forward despite their early lead. And putting this Lions back line in a tough situation and not giving them a chance to advance the ball themselves. Now up to 5 shots for the Spartans. The only one on target was that penalty so far, as the Spartans working forward once again. Here's Hartman, similar spot to the last one, and this one too wide on the near post. So back-to-back plays, Hartman misses wide on the far side and then the near side. Trying to capitalize on these openings, and it seems like they found something in this Behrend defense that they like, because they continue to attack. And it's been tight for the majority of this game. Not a lot of wide crossing action. It's been all dribbling and working short passes inside. Back into the Spartan defense. Here's Klopp trying to get around Mary Meyer, trying to show off her speed, and we know Meyer's fast. She works in front of it. Klopp trying to keep it in play. Taps across in there, but it sort of spins out back past the back line, and Storty will pick it up and put it on the line for a goal kick. Over 15 minutes in now, and still a 1-0 game. It was a Cameron Hartman penalty, which was her 5th goal of the season. She's once again now scored in every game but one, and has at least a point in every game this year. Here's Klopp. She'll pass it inside. Ochoa is there, and the Spartans get it back. Couturez tried to keep control of it, but Patterson clears it away, and on the far side, Rischel will let it go out of bounds and take the throw-in. The last 5 shots for the Spartans as well have all come from Cameron Hartman. And she's been a huge boost to their offense this season. Mary Meyer goes down to Hartman, and she'll lose the ball, but it looks like it'll stay in the hands of the Spartans. Here's Meyer. She'll retreat with it. Meneses, far side. She's got Rischel. Rischel trying to work forward for Van Bibber. It gets past her, but can she track it down? Kuzma will get there first. Now the Lions try to work it forward quickly, but it'll go out of play. Another throw-in for the Spartans. This one goes forward for an open Van Bibber. She's got Hartman running with her, but she'll take the shot, and that one's wide once again. She'll go down. We might have another whistle. Looks like this will just be for a goal kick. Almost thought the way that Spartan bench was cheering, we may have had another penalty coming on, but just encouraging their teammates. So the goal kick from Morningstar. That one's short, and Cameron Hartman gets her head on it. Couturez trying to track it down, but can't quite catch it before it goes out of play. By the way, we mentioned the Spartans have scored now 14 goals, including the one just moments ago this season. This is game 6. In 20 games a year ago, they scored 49. That's just under 2.5 goals per game. Coming into this one, they were averaging 2.6 goals a game, so actually on pace to break that number. if they can make a playoff run as far as they did a year ago. Again, a big part of it coming from Cameron Hartman, who leads the team with now 5 goals on the year. Emily Klopp running the near sideline with that. Gets it all the way to the attacking third, and a whistle blows. And they thought the throw-in was going to be for themselves. The Lions did. Klopp had the ball in her hands. Instead, Meyer will toss it in to Coutures, whose pass is just a little strong for Hartman there. Goes back to Meyer. She'll go all the way back to the middle with Liz White. White, a grad student on this Spartan team. She was part of that 2019 team and that 2021 team that both made postseason runs. 2 of 3 postseason teams in Spartan history. As Rischel up top goes inside with it. Lacrosse couldn't find a teammate. Now the Lions trying to go outside. Sestito tries to get around Rischel. Finds a teammate forward. Dillinger trying to track it down, trying to beat White to the spot. And the cross goes inside and hits the side of the net, so Storty will pick it up for another goal kick. Goes in the middle to Anaya Hartzler. We haven't called her name yet today. And now here's Cameron Hartman. Dribbles by one defender and trying to find some help now. Goes outside for Coutures. Maybe she can get a cross on as well. She'll go off her right foot. And it tips off of Klopp there, it looked like. That was Belak in the back for the Lions. Here's Klopp fighting with Meyer for the ball, and now Meneses. She'll slow it down and find DePino. Now DePino goes for Couture. Has a little bit of room to work for her. She'll take a long shot from outside the box. It's off the crossbar. Tips and stays in play, and Morningstar tries to wall it off so it can go out, and Cameron Hartman can't get to it. So it'll be a goal kick, another close one. And an accurate shot nearly from that spot for Coutures, turning around and hit the top of the crossbar there. It popped straight up. Here's Dellinger up top trying to win the ball away from Lexi Gomez, but can't. Gomez will go back to Storty with it. She'll go forward now for Hartman, and the pass back is intercepted. It's Dellinger who wins it back, and now Hartman goes to atone for that mistake. This pass, Belak steps in front of. Now Buckenheimer in the middle of the field. She'll go backwards. Kuzma will take it up herself, and now looking for some help, and that pass is tipped off. DePino steps in front of it. Coutures in the middle. She's looking for Hartman. Down on the near sideline. Slowing things down for just a moment. Now trying to dribble into some space. Her pass was tipped, and now Meyer coming from her defender spot to get it into the box, and she'll shoot it through a defender's legs, and it's tipped off by Morningstar, and we might have a corner kick here unless it went out of play on its own. And that is the call, so it'll just be a goal kick. Meyer does have some experience playing forward and maybe using a bit of it there. Coming all the way up and taking the shot herself. Ball stolen away by DePino. She's got Van Bibber on her right. That's where the ball goes. Van Bibber maybe looking for a shot, a spin move! And that ball's tipped off. Can it go in? It's off the crossbar once again, off the near post to her. And this one will be a corner kick. It was a beautiful spin move that got Helena Van Bibber some extra space. But the shot was blocked. It'll be a corner. Hartman will go out to take it. She'll send it into the box. Off ahead, and that's too high. And it'll be a goal kick. There were a couple Spartans in that area. Couldn't quite see who tipped that off. $11 shots now for the Spartans here in the first half. So far on the year, they average just under 18 shots per game. So well on pace to shatter that. And their shot percentage this year is actually higher than it was a year ago. It was 125 last year. It's 148 so far this season coming into this one. So far today, it's 2-7-2 in this game. 3 shots on target. And a long one here from Hartzler. And that one well high of the goal. We may have a substitution, and it looks like we will. For Barron, Nicole Kraushaw, a sophomore from Smithton, Pennsylvania, will come on. She'll take off Buckenheimer. Kraushaw on the season does have a goal. Here's Van Bibber going forward for Coutures. Outside, and that ball is sent out of play. And the Spartans will have a throw-in. Rischel will be there to take it. She'll go back to Coutures, and the ball's tipped away from her. Here's Meyer, and a beautiful pass from Anaya Hartzler. She sends that ball in, but it's tipped off. Hartzler collecting that and just lost it on the dribble. It'll go out of play. The Spartans will look to make a sub here shortly as well. It's Andrea Silva who will come on in just a few moments. She's tied for that assist mark on this team. She has 2 on the year. Barron trying to work this ball forward. Dillinger racing for it, but Gomez and Meyer both on top of it. It'll go out of play. For a goal kick, they box her out. Silva will come on here. And it looks like Helena Van Bibber will be the one to step off. "17 minutes remain in this first half. It's a 1-0 game. Spartans on top. A Cameron Hartman penalty has been the difference so far. And still no shots for this Barron team. Here's Klopp trying to change that. Just lost the ball there, and Hartzler sends it out to Silva. The fresh legs trying to work around a defender. Sestito is there, and Silva showing off her speed. Now she'll look for a teammate inside. Coutures is there, and the ball's tipped away from her. Lions will take it back. Belak will work it forward. Outside on the far side now. Lizzie Hoff trying to get around a couple defenders. She gets past Rischel. Meneses is marking her as well. And that's tipped out of play. Meneses now for the Spartans. They win it back, and a whistle will give the ball back to the Lions. This is a free kick in a position where they could send this ball into the box. That's where it will go. A lot of Spartan defenders back there. It's off the head. It looked like Hartzler. Now DePino gets tripped up as she's trying to take that ball out of there. It was Croushore who just came on, who's going to get called for the foul there. So Meyer takes this free kick quickly. Now all the way on the far side, it's Silva once again. She'll go forward with it this time. Coutures. Now Silva trying to make a run just inside of her. And couldn't quite beat Kuzma to the spot that time. It's going to go out of play, and it's out on the Spartans this time. Going all the way back to that Lions back line. Belak. Now Morningstar will clear it out of there. Hartzler was fighting for it there. Croushore will knock it out of play. And it'll go back to the Spartans as 3 subs will come on. Samantha Crayman, Katie Davis, and Mackenzie Mueller will all come on. Cece DePino, Cameron Hartman, and Carolyn Coutures will step off. Mackenzie Mueller has scored in each of the last 2 games for the Spartans, her first 2 career goals. So we'll see if she can add to that total today. Inside, going for Crayman. Now here's Mueller fighting for the ball. Trying to just keep it on the Spartans' side, and Meneses will get the pass from her. Meyer steps in front to keep that ball. Klopp was running forward to try and take that away. Hartzler will go outside Silva. And there's Meyer still up there, and now retreats to her defender's spot. As the Spartans lose the ball, the pass went forward for Dillinger, and Liz White came up to knock that out of play. Under 13 minutes now in this half, still 1-0, and Barron still just looking for some spark offensively. The Spartans get it back, and Samantha Crayman goes for Mueller and tried to pop it back to Crayman. The Lions defense converged too quickly. Crayman nearly taking that ball away, and that'll be a foul on her. She tried to poke it away from behind and didn't get a clean tap on that ball. Coach O'Driscoll screaming instruction to his players. As the free kick is taken. Sent to about midfield and a little over the head of Croushore. Here's Davis. Now going back from Mueller. Back to Katie Davis, who couldn't collect herself. And that ball gets just past her. Dillinger and Lexi Gomez so tight defensively. And has not let anybody get past her so far today. Those center backs from last year, both gone for the Spartans. Kat Rebel and All-American Greta Lazara, and Liz White and Lexi Gomez have stepped in and done a brilliant job so far this year. That ball is headed and out of play for another goal kick for Storty. It's a warm night in Cleveland so far. Temperature is at about 82. The high today was 86. We got some rain in the morning. Potentially expecting some as this game goes on. And another foul will be called. And this is a dangerous situation now. The Lions in a good spot. Could see a shot come off from here. Could see a cross into the box. Five players in the box for the Lions. Off to take the free kick. It goes far post, and Storty, did she get her hand on that to knock it out of play? And it looks like she got run into. And it looks like we'll have a corner kick. It did tip off of her. At least that is the call. So under 10 minutes now. And Behrend finally in a position to attack. Patterson will take it. She'll whip this one inside, and it's very far, and a shot came off, and it was just too high. It was Prestash who got her head on it, and couldn't quite steer it in the right direction. By the way, we talked about that high temperature today of 86. That's about 12 degrees higher than it normally is on this day on a given year here in Cleveland. So an unseasonably warm day. Ball's tipped off the foot of Hartzler, goes all the way to the Spartan back line. Not sure who got the final touch on that one. We may have another corner kick coming, and that is the call. Tipped off a Spartan foot, it looked like. So Patterson will go to the far side to take this one once again. Last few minutes have been a free kick, a corner kick, and now another one for the Lions, finally pressing forward here. They got their first shot of the game just moments ago. Prestash trying to win that one once again in the box, and Hartzler comes back to clear that one out of there. It'll stay with the Lions, but now closer to midfield. Silva sends that one forward as the Spartans take the ball away once again. Samantha Crayman was calling for the ball there, but Hartzler didn't have a clean look to pass it to her. Belak tried to win that one back for the Lions. Instead, it's Katie Davis who has it now, looking for some help. She's going to go back for Meneses. And now Meneses, she'll look for Crayman outside, and Crayman was trying to make a run again. She'll send it inside to Mueller. Fights for the ball back, and Belak will knock it to about midfield where Katie Rischel waits for it. Sends it outside. She was looking for Silva, but it was intercepted. Stepping in front was Lizzie Hoff, who tries to keep the ball in Lion possession, and Mueller aggressively fighting back for it, and they want a foul called, and the foul will go against Hoff, actually. The Lions were throwing their arms up for about 10 seconds in there, looking for a foul against Mueller. Instead, it'll be Liz White to take this free kick for the Spartans. She'll send this one into the box, and it's too high. Crayman was the closest one to it, and now does finally track it down. She'll try to keep it in play. Now Davis will run back to get under it. She plays it back to Meyer, who goes inside to the middle. Abigail Meneses, and it's tipped away and stolen as the Lions try to set up a counterattack. Mueller slows it down for a moment, and that pass just too strong that time for Klopp. Julia Flynn will check in now as well for Anaya Hartzler, and nearly forgot to pass her that penny. Hartzler's off, and we're good to go. Mary Meyer will take the throw in. Katie Davis. Flynn, a first year from Dublin Kaufman High School in Columbus. Meyer goes back for Gomez here. Liz White and that Spartan back line, again, have continued to play strong so far in this one. 2 shots now have come off for Behrend. Neither of them have been on target. They've both been in the past couple minutes here. As we close in on halftime, the Spartans still holding on to that 1-0 lead off the Cameron Hartman penalty. Davis tries to go forward for Silva with that one, and it's just cleared out of there. Kuzma was all over it. Here's White, and that pass just too far for Meneses is taken away, picked off by Klopp. Dellinger tried to get it, it's tipped away, but far side is Prestash. Excuse me, that was Lizzie Hoff. Here is Prestash trying to chase this one down, trying to beat Liz White to the spot, and she does. That ball tipped out of bounds, and it's going to be off of White. It'll be another corner, as we're now under 5 minutes to play in the half, and another opportunity for the Lions, but they have had no success off the set pieces in the attacking third. Again, we saw a couple corners and a free kick in this area of the field, and the Spartans have been so solid defensively. 5 players in the box now, 2 more outside for the Lions. And the cross comes in over Prestash's head, and the closest one to it was Klopp. Silva pokes that one out of play. It'll stay on this side of the field as Lizzie Hoff was trying to win that ball back for the Lions. Emily Klopp with the throw-in, maybe setting up for a long throw here. Everyone piling up in the box, and she's all the way back on the track. She'll take the run up and send it into the box. It's bouncing around there. Ochoa was there, the closest one to it. Dellinger, and that one tips off, and that's well high of the goal post. Out of play for a goal kick, and Storty will take it. Just over 3 minutes now in the half. Her goal kick sent to about midfield. Belak tried to win it back, but it's taken away. Mary Meyer will have to chase this one down now, and she'll try to pass it forward, but it's knocked out of play. Meyer finds Flynn, who tips it. A beautiful pass to Crayman, and now Davis will retreat with it. Meyer goes outside for Crayman, looking for Davis, and it's just behind her as she was trying to run forward with it. Crayman goes forward once again. Davis looking for some help outside. Mueller's there in the middle of the field, gets past one defender, Ochoa. Now back to Davis, goes forward for Silva, trying to break through. 3 defenders are there, and that clearance tipped off Silva, and now Morningstar will get on top of it. In the Spartan back line now, and that one tips off of Klopp, and it's going to go towards the flag and out of play. So a throw-in coming for the Spartans. Maybe time for one more offensive possession for them. As Flynn tries to pass it, it tips off Croushore, and now Flynn trying to run down the near sideline with it. She's got Silva trying to make a run, and Silva can't quite get to it and is beaten there by Croushore. She'll take the throw in. Davis is there. She's looking for some help. She goes inside. Flynn and Mueller were close to it, but neither was on top of the ball. A minute left. And here's a chance on the other side for the Lions. Hoff was trying to work it forward, and Katie Rischel was there to take it away. Now Silva on the far side for the Spartans, trying to steal one just before the buzzer goes off. She lost the ball. and the Lions will get it back. They'll go forward. Prestash is there, trying to beat Liz White once again to the ball. We've seen that matchup a couple times. It tips off White's foot, but was it already out of play? And it was. That is the call. Rischel will take the throw in. Mueller going forward for Davis with it. The Lions will get it back momentarily as the countdown starts. Here's Flynn with it. And that'll take us to halftime. A 1-0 game, number 15th ranked Case Western Reserve University. The Spartans a perfect 5-0 on the season. Lead this one with a Cameron Hartman penalty kick. The Lions getting set to kick us off here in the second half. Dillinger will take it. And there was Croushore, who came on in the first half, and she'll be starting this second half of play. Quick throw in for the Spartans. Meyer, she'll send it in, and the Spartans will send it to the back line. Liz White. Here's Anaya Hartzler. She'll go forward. Carolyn Coutures, and that pass was just too far for Katie Rischel. Sestito will have the throw in. She'll send it forward to Prestash, who fights for the ball, and Hartzler takes it away. Hartzler going forward with it. She's got some help, and Cece DePino will try to track this down and try and beat Morningstar to this spot, and is unable to do so. It was a long pass, and it was tough to get to. So the first-year goalkeeper will have it in the box, and she'll send this one out. On the near side, Anaya Hartzler gets under it. Hartzler has 2 goals of her own on the season, coming off a year where she did not score. Hartman has come back into the lineup to begin this second half, and she won that ball, and the pass was too strong for Hartzler. On the far side now, Emily Klopp, and it's tipped away by Mary Meyer. But they're going to say the last touch was off of Klopp. Emily Klopp, a senior midfielder from Pittsburgh, from Canon McMillan High School. Her brother, Josh Klopp, actually graduated from here at Case Western Reserve University. He was a 4-year member of the Spartans football team, was part of 2 playoff runs in 2017 and in 2019. Played outside linebacker. Speaking of football, the Spartans football team won an exciting game this past weekend right here on DeSanto Field against Washington and Jefferson, 14-10. A game-winning touchdown scored by Ethan Dahlem on a pass from Drew Saxton as Cameron Hartman goes outside and the cross comes in. It's too strong for Van Bibber. And it'll go out of play for a goal kick, and that was another chance for the Spartans to extend this lead. Selena Van Bibber actually played high school football with Spartan quarterback Drew Saxton. South Fayette High School. Van Bibber was a kicker on that team. The Spartans pushing the ball forward once again. Cece DePino. Now here's Coutures. She'll go outside for Hartman. Hartman will take a long shot, and it's wide again. We've seen a couple of those for her. And her only goal was off the penalty. Prestash fighting for the ball in the middle of the field. Hartzler wins it back. Now going forward, Couture is on the outside and can't get past her defender. It's Patterson who's on top of her. Now Hoff will knock that one out of play. Lizzie Hoff. Katie Rischel will go inside. Hartzler looking for some room. Couture, who's moved outside to start this second half. She'll go inside with the ball. DePino a little bit too strong for her. Rischel playing forward for Hartzler. She'll try to whip this one in. Not sure if that was supposed to be a leading pass for Hartman coming in or a long shot, but either way, it's in the hands of Morningstar. And Riley will boot this one out. A high arcing ball to about midfield, and it's past Hartzler and Lizzie Hoff, who were fighting for it there. Here Hoff will win it, a whistle. And the Spartans will get possession on a free kick. And the Spartans in that first half took 13 shots, 3 of them on target, but coming into this one, they averaged just under 18 shots a game. Already 13 in the first half. They've been really aggressive. They seem to have found a spot they liked, which was on their left side, coming in attacking, but still, once again, no goals from actual on-field play, just from the penalty, a set piece. So, speaking of set pieces, another opportunity for the Spartans here with Anaya Hartzler trotting out to take this corner. They've only had one so far, and it was Cameron Hartman who went over and took it, but it's typically been Hartzler the past 2 years who's taken the majority of the set pieces. She'll whip this one into the box and was looking for White. Van Bibber tips that, and that one's another goal. The Spartans will extend their lead 2-0. Helena Van Bibber. And Van Bibber with her second goal of the season. The senior for the Spartans. And this puts Penn State-Behrend in quite a bind. They've only taken 3 shots on the day, and none of them have been on target. So now goals from Hartman and Van Bibber. We just mentioned moments ago how the Spartans had only scored off a penalty, and now off of another set piece. The Lions try to go fast, and it's Lizzie Hoff working outside, but the Spartans will get the ball back. Van Bibber once again. She'll pop it over and out of play. And they'll say it'll go back to the Lions. The Spartans thought it may have tipped off a Lion defender. Patterson will send this to the far side. There's Klopp, but Hartman takes it away from her. Hartman trying to race down that far sideline, trying to boot this one forward, and it's well too far for Couture, who was the nearest teammate to it. And Morningstar will have the kick, so send it to about midfield. Hartzler will win it back for the Spartans. Van Bibber dribbles past one defender. She has help outside from Couture, but she'll take it herself inside. She'll go to Hartman as she takes a fall just outside the 18, and she'll get the free kick for the Spartans. And it's nearly perfectly in the center of the field in relation to that goal. So they'll have options with this shot where they want to go with it. We could see a shot with this free kick, I should say. Could drop it off to a teammate. Hartzler's on top of it, along with CC DePino. It's been Hartzler who's taken, once again, the majority of the set pieces. It's a 5-man wall for the Lions, standing about 10 to 11 yards away from that net. The Spartans just extended their lead to 2-0. And Hartzler, she'll pass this one off. DePino the shot, and that one's wide. So a good attempt for the Spartans. But still a 2-0 game. Still a tough situation for Penn State-Behrend. Once again, just 3 shots so far in this one, and they average 13 shots a game. They also average 2 goals a game, a little bit more than that. But this Spartan defense has been so strong. Again, has only allowed 3 goals on the season, and 2 of those came in the first game of the year. 1 came against a good Ohio Northern team, and that passed just too far for Hartzler, who watches it go out of bounds, and a throw-in will be coming for the Lions. Just about 10 minutes into the second half of play, and we've already seen a Spartan goal. It was in the 52nd minute. Anaya Hartzler gets credit for the assist off the corner kick, and Helena Van Bibber, it kind of just bounced off of her, but she directed it properly and found the ball going past that goal line. Cameron Hartman is going to get called for the foul on this one. So the Lions will have a free kick now. They'll likely try to play this one forward. Kuzma sends it up. It tips around. And booted once again. Prestash is trying to get to it. Katie Rischel's trying to keep her from it. Prestash hits the deck, and Rischel will win the ball back. So send it up to Coutures. Tries to pass it back for Van Bibber. It's a little bit out of her reach, and she's tripped up as she tried to get that ball back. Here's Ochoa on the outside. The cross. It's tipped off of Meneses. And now cleared out of there. DePino. She has some help. Van Bibber's there, and now trapped by 2 defenders, but she'll work it backwards. Finally, Liz White's able to clear that out of there, but here's Patterson. She'll go forward. Dellinger's there. Prestash as well. And she's going to get her foot in a little bit too far there. Hartzler was tripped up, and that'll be a foul. So the Spartans get it back. Another free kick, and Liz White will be on top of it, and she might take this one quickly. She'll go to Meneses. And Meneses trying to work it forward. She's looking for Van Bibber. She's got her. And trying to spin around. She's got Hartman in front of her. May have been offside, so she didn't pass it. Van Bibber trying to pass now to a teammate. And it's poked out of there. Angela Belak coming back to take that ball. Now Mary Meyer, and that's a tough hit. She'll go down but pop right back up, and a free kick for the Spartans coming. And this one could be a position to push it in. Meyer's still on top of it. She might be the one to take it. Liz White's coming forward for the Spartans. Tallest player on this team at 6'1", and she might try to get her head on the end of this. And she will. It tips off. And it's going to go backwards, and Lizzie Hoff will clear it out of bounds. Rischel will trot up to take this throw in. Ball stays in the attacking third for the Spartans. It's Caroline Coutures who takes the cross, but it's blocked. And it's cleared out of bounds once again. Rischel. The throw-in goes to Van Bibber this time. And it's taken away by the Lions. A chance to counter. It was Dillinger who got it, but now Cameron Hartman tries to take it away. She came in sliding from the side and didn't get a shot on the ball there. That'll be a foul called. We've seen the aggressiveness of these two teams really ramp up here in the second half, it seems. 5 fouls now on the Spartans, 9 against the Lions. Kuzma will send this free kick forward. And Mary Myers under it. Couldn't field it. Tips off of her, and an offside flag is up. So Penn State-Behrend still not able to find a real threatening opportunity on the offensive end. Maggie Storty has not had to make a save yet. Hartzler working forward. She's got some help. She'll take a long shot, and it's a little bit high. It'll go out of play for a goal kick. Storty averages about 3 saves a game. She has 14 coming into this one. In the 5 games she's played every minute in goal for the Spartans this year. Now in the Spartan back line, here's Katie Rischel. She'll go forward for Van Bibber, and the time of possession in this second half has just been dominated by the Spartans, who already added to their lead. It's 2-0 as it stands, and about a half an hour remains in this one, and it's an uphill climb for the Lions right now. Liz White dribbling around with that, keeping the ball in the Spartan control. She'll send this one forward. She's looking for Hartman. Tips off a defender and goes to CC DePino. A look for her, and she'll take the shot, and it's saved. Morningstar that time. But it'll be a corner kick for the Spartans, and the save was her 3rd of the game. May have a substitution coming on. Mackenzie Mueller will come back into this one. Abigail Meneses will step off. Meneses, a sophomore midfielder from Comac, New York, over in Suffolk County, Long Island. So Cam Hartman will take this corner. Far post this time, and it gets ahead of Van Bibber once again. Another save, and Mary Meyer pops this one straight up. Couple Spartans still in the area. Liz White takes the shot, and that one is collected, and it wasn't a challenging shot. It kind of dribbled around. It didn't look like she got a clean look at it. Morningstar will send this one out of play right at midfield, and Rischel will be there to take the throw in. So the Spartans once again retain possession of the ball even after all of that. Here's Mueller. Now Rischel goes forward. Coutures, a little bit of room to work for her, and just too far. It was behind Cameron Hartman, that pass was. It'll go out, and Morningstar will have it once again. The Lions still just trying to set something up offensively. It was Sestito that time, but it's taken away. Van Bibber, she'll go forward outside for Carolyn Coutures. She'll look for some help across, and it's going to go past the goal line, so out of play. Another goal kick coming for Morningstar. Substitution, Lauren Kaiser will come on. And she'll take Lizzie Hoff off the field for now. Mentioned already, football traveling this weekend for the Spartans. It's a busy weekend for Spartan athletics as they push forward again with CC DePino, including this women's soccer team taking a road trip. Van Bibber inside, it tips off! And another goal for Helena Van Bibber, the senior, with 2 today, and that makes it a 3-0 game. The Spartans on top, and they are fully in control of this one. "27 minutes in, some change, but the Spartans seem to be taking over. 2 goals here in the second half of play, both by Helena Van Bibber. That one tipped off Morningstar's foot, it looked like, and just dribbled by past that line, and she'll come off, Helena will. And all smiles from her and her teammates on the bench. Cameron Hartman will also step off for now. Andrea Silva is back on. Samantha Crayman also comes on in the far side. She'll take Hartman's spot. Liz White on the defensive end now for the Spartans. here is Kramen on the far side racing to it, and you can tell she's fresh and she's showing off her speed. She'll go inside. Was looking for Hartzler in that pass, stepped in front of Mueller trying to win it back, rather DePino. And she's got some space. She can get a shot off, and that one's wide of the far post. Kramen was running up to try and finish it off, but couldn't quite get there in time. It'll be another goal kick. 3 goals for the Spartans in this one, and trying to hold on to a shutout in the first career start for Riley Morningstar, and a tough team to get the start against. Number 15 in the nation. One of the top teams a year ago. Made it to the Sweet 16 and hosted. And their only loss at home a year ago was to a tough Chicago team in that Sweet 16. They also had a draw with Chicago earlier on the year. They will travel to Chicago this year. Chicago's currently 5-2 and ranked number 19 nationally. Again, mentioned this tough conference, and number 8 Carnegie Mellon, the rivals for this Spartan team, and that's who the Lions will take on next. They'll travel to Pittsburgh. That game's on Sunday at 2 p.m. And then a week from today, they'll host John Carroll. That game at 5 p.m. And then they'll start some of their conference play. Again, defending conference champions, the Lions are, and they were a tournament team and lost in the first round a year ago, and trying to just get back on track. Haven't started this year the way they would have liked. DePino wins that ball back for the Spartans. A look ahead in their schedule, we mentioned taking a bit of a road trip this weekend to Muskingum. That game's at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Then they'll host Denison 6 days from now on Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. right here at DeSanto Field, before starting their conference schedule against Brandeis. That game's next Saturday, part of a doubleheader with that men's team. Paige Greenfield will check into the game for the Spartans. She's a first-year defender from Sterling, Virginia. For Greenfield, this is her 3rd appearance of the year and of her young career. Later this week for the Spartans, on Friday, men's tennis is at Wash U in the ITA Fall Regionals. It's in St. Louis. They'll be there on Saturday as well. Volleyball will take on Kenyon over at Denison down in Granville, Ohio. Men's soccer heading to Kenyon. That game on Saturday at 3:30. Then volleyball will take on Denison Saturday night, 6 p.m. And some more tennis action on Sunday. Hartzler works this one into the box, and it's popped up and sort of bounces its way into the hands of Morningstar. 24 minutes even remain in this one, and that's how much time Penn State-Behrend will have to score 3 goals, and still in this one just 3 shots. Now 5 saves, 21 shots, by the way, on the other end for the Spartans, and 8 shots on target. Here's Kramen fighting for the ball. DePino, and it's knocked out of play by Ochoa. Another substitution for the Spartans. Maggie Farah will come on. Farah's a first year from Portland, Oregon. We've seen her play in a couple games so far this year. This is her 4th appearance. DePino will work it outside. There is Greenfield. Going forward now. Some more room for the Spartans to work, and here's Farah. She'll try to send it inside. She's got Greenfield coming up behind her. Silva tries to track that down and keep it in play, but can't, so it'll go out for a goal kick, and the Spartans really working into this bench now. Likely feeling comfortable with a 3-0 lead, but still with their feet on the gas, and a substitution coming in, it looks like, for Penn State-Behrend. It looks like Patterson will be heading to the bench. And Megan Kruliski will come on. She's a sophomore from Claremont, Florida. Farah pops this one up for Silva. Dribbles past one defender. And now Farah is going to get called for a foul, as Audra Kuzma was taken to the ground on that one. Kuzma will take the free kick. That ball was nearly cleared out of there, but actually hit off of Lauren Kaiser. So the Spartans get it back. Greenfield goes to Anaya Hartzler. Now here's Silva. Inside for Farah, and now back for DePino. DePino's tripped up. She looks at the officials, no foul called. They'll say play on, and the Spartan crowd didn't seem to like that call. Emily Klopp on the far side. Mary Meyer playing some defense, getting some help from Samantha Crayman. And the Spartans will win the ball back. And Klopp thought that she had the throw in. She's still holding on to the ball. Officials are signaling the other way, and now she'll toss it to Meyer. Now Klopp comes in on an aggressive play that time, and officials are going to go over to her, and it looks like a yellow card will be dished out, and maybe just some frustration coming out off of that previous play where she thought she had possession of the ball. So a free kick will come for the Spartans. We saw a couple of yellow cards in their last game against Ohio Northern, including an ejection from the Polar Bears head coach. Again, a wild finish to that one. In a tight game, it was a 2-1 victory for the Spartans. This one, the Spartans seem to be much more in control of. Looks like a handball may have been the call there. Maggie Farrow was trying to get possession of that ball in that center forward spot. So this time the Lions will have a free kick. Christy Buckenheimer. She's a junior from Beaver, Pennsylvania. She'll whip this one into the box, and it's over the head of everyone. But Lauren Kaiser is able to get under it. She tries to just keep it in play, but her pass will go out of play. Past that goal line. It was a tough run for her to make. So Storty with another goal kick. Looks like we may see a couple more subs coming on for the Spartans here soon. Abigail Meneses is down there getting ready to check back in. Kit Shells is also there. We've seen her in one game so far this season. Here's Greenfield. She'll go up top to Farah. Silva nearly lost the ball there, but manages to hold on to it. Here's Mueller. She'll go forward. Hartzler now goes outside. Samantha Crayman is there, and she'll try to get past Kruliski. Looking to get a cross off. Dribbles past. Here's Farah in the box, and it's tipped away from her. Crayman keeps it back to Farah, and now goes behind. Here's Hartzler. Gets past a few defenders, and a shot is wide once again. And here come those substitutions for the Spartans. Once again, Abigail Meneses, who started this game and has played the majority of it. She'll come back on. Kit Shells is a first-year midfielder from Vienna, Virginia. So Anaya Hartzler will come off along with Cece DePino. Fight for the ball is won by Maggie Farah. And that pass too strong. It'll go out of play right by that far side flag, and it looks like it'll be a throw-in. So it's dropped off. Behrend taking their time and don't seem to be in too much of a rush. 17 minutes still on the clock here. They're still down 3-0. Here's Dillinger now. Looked like she had some space, but the Spartans closed quickly. Klopp will boot that one forward to the Spartan back line. Here's Shells. It's off of her. And now one back by Ochoa. It looked like a high shot that time that went over the top of the net and didn't challenge Maggie Storty, who still has not had to make a save. Again, just 3 shots still for Penn State-Behrend. And of those, none of them in the second half. Mentioned the Spartans as well are one of 11 undefeated or untied teams. So that's a perfect only wins record. As the Lions have a chance forward, now the Spartans take it away. Couple updates. Goucher was down 4-0. Babson was leading 2-0. FDU Florham was up 1-0, and Mary Hardin Baylor with a 1-0 lead. And we started the day with 13 teams with only W's. 2 of them already fell. The Spartans do not look to be another one. Silva winning this ball back. Now for Shells. She'll go forward once again. Here is Silva. She's got some teammates forward, and it's tipped off of a defender. Angela Belak was running back on the defensive end. It's going to go out of play, and not sure if that's a throw-in or a corner, but it looks like we may have a throw-in right by that flag. No, it is going to be a corner. Spartans' usual set-piece takers are off the field, so Lexi Gomez will send this one in. Goes to about dead center of that 18-yard box. Now Mary Meyer with a long shot, and we've seen her score off of one of those earlier this season in the opening game against Capital. It was the second goal of the year for the Spartans. This one didn't challenge Morningstar as much. Meneses fields that ball. Now Greenfield sending it forward, and it's past Silva. And out of play. We're under 15 minutes now. And still the Spartans have dominated, especially in this second half, with 2 Helena Van Bibber goals, one in the 52nd and then one in the 63rd minute. To extend the Spartan lead, a Cameron Hartman penalty in the 13th minute is what gave them the lead. But they have felt like the dominant team throughout this one. All of this in the first year for head coach Abby Richter. It was a short turnaround when she came to this program in the late stages of summer, just a few weeks before fall camp, and the only coach retained from last year's staff, goalkeeper coach Kaylee Piscaneri, as Samantha Cramen works on the far side, and that ball is sent out of play. And who did it tip off of? It's going to be a goal kick, so they're going to say it's off of Cramen. Morningstar on the goal kick, and she's up to 5 saves on the day. Greenfield, she'll go forward for Andrea Silva. Nearly got her feet tangled behind her. She tries to go outside, and she thinks it was tipped off. Officials say no, it's a goal kick. And another substitution for the Spartans, and this is the first time this season we're seeing Sid Stone in goal. Maggie Storty will come off. Again, has not had to make a save so far today. Samantha Cramen will also step off here in the late stages of this one. And it's Sid Schenk who will go up top to that left wing spot. Lexi Gomez, she'll go outside for Schenk. Schenk trying to win the ball away from Megan Kruliski. It'll go out of bounds for a throw-in. Outside, it's Mary Meyer now up top. And in goal, we've seen Sid Stone in 2 games last season, including some of the postseason action against Chatham. That was the round of 64 game. She's played in 42 minutes, had 3 saves and did not allow a goal. She had 2 saves in that 5-0 win to start the postseason for the Spartans. So coming up on just 10 minutes remaining in this one, still a 3-0 game. Penn State-Behrend with just 3 shots in this one. Actually up to 4, and it's been a dominating performance. The 4th was that high shot we saw just a few moments ago, and that was the only shot taken by this Lions team in the second half. Not one shot has come on target for the visiting team as Silva tries to take this one forward and trying to get past Lauren Kaiser. She'll drop this throw in off to her teammate Greenfield, and Page will try to go forward for Maggie Farah. It's knocked out of play once again. Maybe some more subs for the Spartans. Katie Davis will come back on, along with Julia Flynn. Andrea Silva coming off, as well as Maggie Farah. Once again, Spartans continue to go deep into this rotation, getting some of their players some experience. Moments ago, Sydney Barnett also checked in for Carla Ochoa on the Barron side. Barnett, a sophomore defender from Doylestown, Ohio. Here's Mackenzie Mueller forward with it. Now goes back all the way to Dillinger, and Abigail Meneses pokes it away. Greenfield, she'll go inside. Lexi Gomez is there. Only a few starters still on the field for the Spartans. Mary Meyer also one of them. Mueller will send this one forward. Sid Schenk outside. She's got Kruliski on her. Now she'll take a long shot. Stepping in front once again, Riley Morningstar, first year from North Huntington, Pennsylvania. This one's off the head of Mueller. Flynn tips it, and here's Katie Davis forward, trying to go back to Flynn. Instead, it's Shells who comes up to get it. Liz White, another starter, still on the field for the Spartans. Just those 3 back-end players trying to keep this shutout, it looks like. Sid Shank, she'll go inside. Was looking for shells that time, and it's poked away. This one will roll out on the near side. Greenfield will have a throw-in. It'll go to Katie Davis. Now Davis looking for some help. Mueller was there, but she'll go back for shells. And Kit's going to go to Paige Greenfield on the near side. Davis now up top. Sydney Shank working it into the box. That's signature move, and a shot comes off towards the near post, and Morningstar steps in front of it. .645 remains in this one. It's been all Spartans. Never did see that rain that was initially expected. It's been a nice clear night. Temperatures in Cleveland supposed to cool down a lot this weekend and next week. Highs in the low to mid 60s. It's going to be beautiful fall weather. It's Paige Greenfield on the near side. We'll try to cross this one in. She'll pass it short, Katie Davis, but it's intercepted. Prestash for Behrend. She'll work it forward, trying to go outside. Emily Klopp was there, but it's stepped in front of by Mary Meyer outside. Sid Shank and Kruliski's on her. She'll go to Katie Davis. Kuzma's on her. Audra with some good defense there, and now outside there's Davis, and they think she's offsides, and that flag is up. The free kick taken by Morningstar. Sending it to that midfield line. Spartans win it back once again, and it just has felt like they have controlled the ball this entire second half. It feels like they have been on top of it for the majority of the last 40 minutes, as Flynn had an opportunity in the box that time, and it's poked away and sent out for a throw-in. Mary Meyer comes up to take it. That ball bounces around and gets back to Meyer. She works past a couple defenders. Flynn with a shot, and it's too high, but a beautiful play to set that up from Mary Meyer. In under 5 minutes, the Spartans still pressing forward, and a couple substitutions coming in now. On the other side, Klopp and Dillinger will step off. As this goal kick comes on from Riley Morningstar, working its way all the way to that Spartan back line. Annie Klingensmith is in. Lizzie Hoff checks back in for Dillinger. Now on the near side, it's Prestash, who's tripped up a little bit, and it looks like officials are going to point and say Spartan ball on the throw-in. No foul given that time. Katie Davis gets it back. She'll go to the middle of the field. It's too strong for Mueller. And the Spartans finally win it back. Julia Flynn. She'll go outside. Katie Davis trying to track it down, and it's too far, too long on that pass. They continue to play hard and fast throughout this game despite the score. And last season did much of the same and had 2 7-goal games, including a game against John Carroll where they didn't score in the first half and scored 7 in the second. They followed that up with a 7-1 game against Muskingum, and we mentioned Muskingum is their next opponent. That game was here a year ago, but this time they'll head down there 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. And once again on Tuesday night, 6 days from today at 7:30, the Spartans will kick off against Denison, and we hope to see you back for that one. As time winds down in this one, and looking ahead for Behrend, once again we mentioned they'll take on number 8th ranked Carnegie Mellon, as Mary Meyer works that one into the box before it's finally stolen away from her. Meneses gets her head on this one, and Prestash will go forward. Lizzie Hoff bounces over her head, and Liz White will send it back to Sid Stone. Again, coming on in goal in relief of Maggie Storty. Behrend will return home a week from today to host John Carroll once again. That a 5 p.m. kickoff. This ball knocked out of play, and head coach Abby Richter picks it up and tosses it back to Paige Greenfield. Flynn works that through the legs of a defender. Tries to cross this one in, and Morningstar diving to make that save. So she'll send this one out. Once again, a goal from Cameron Hartman off a penalty, off of a handball in that first half of play. It was in the 13th minute. There's a couple Spartans and some Lions hit the deck in the middle of the field. Then in the second half, so it was 1-0 going into the break. It was Helena Van Bibber both times to extend this Spartan lead. The first of those in the 52nd minute, and then in the 63rd minute. The senior from Pittsburgh getting it done for the Spartans. Sydney Barnett was trying to make something happen before time expires in this one. And now the Spartans running forward with it once again. Julia Flynn on the near side. She tried to get the cross off, but it's poked away from her by Belak, and the countdown will begin. That'll take us to the end of this one. The Spartans will win it 3-0 and extend their undefeated season. 6-0 is their record as the number 15